Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amin Carlos and you're watching News at 10. In our top stories tonight, discussion on Malaysia-Thailand VTL ongoing. Well, JKM cashless assistance payment still in study stage. Well, the Malaysian government is still in discussion and refining the details with its Thai counterpart on opening a vaccinated travel lane, or VTL, between the two countries. And Senior International Trade and Industry MITI Minister Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali said a decision will be made after both parties have reached an agreement on the terms of the deal based on the current COVID-19 situations in both countries.
Dan saya percaya kedua-dua health authorities di antara Thailand dan Malaysia sedang memperhalusi, dan apabila kita melihat keadaan lebih meyakinkan, perkara ini akan diberikan keutamaan kerana kita yakin bahawa dengan membuka sempadan-sempadan negara, ianya dapat membantu menjana pertumbuhan ekonomi.
Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin said this after handing over Chinese New Year contributions in Gombak parliamentary constituency today. And according to reports, Thailand will consider reopening the border with Malaysia as proposed by MPs from the southern provinces. And based on a report by Bangkok Post, Deputy Thailand Government spokesperson Ratchada Dinadirek said the COVID-19 Situation Administration Centre had previously, in principle, reached an agreement on the proposal and instructed its control centre to review the relevant details. However, she said the matter is being put under review following the emergence of Omicron and the recent flood disaster in Malaysia. On another matter, Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin urged all parties not to speculate on the adverse effects the Genting Hong Kong bankruptcy could have on the Malaysian economy. Instead, he said they should get clear explanation on the situation from the relevant authorities and official sources.
The latest was on this Global Opportunity Index, yang sekali lagi meletakkan Malaysia di tangga yang tertinggi di antara negara-negara di rantau ini dalam kejayaan kita menarik pelaburan-pelaburan baru. Saya telah pun menjawab persoalan ini dalam Parlimen, dan saya telah membentangkan kertas di dalam Jemaah Menteri yang membuktikan prestasi perdagangan negara dan juga prestasi pelaburan amat meyakinkan. Dan ini membuktikan bahawa pelabur-pelabur asing dan juga pelabur tempatan yakin dengan ekosistem perniagaan dalam negara.
Well, recently, he said in general, the World Bank has reviewed the performance of Malaysia's economic growth this year, which is quite compromising. Now, the senior minister said Malaysia is expected to achieve 5.8% growth, and this is also in line with the projection by the Ministry of Finance and Bank Negara Malaysia, which projected between 5.5 and 6.5% growth for 2022, which is certainly a better performance compared to 2021, which was at 3.3%. The media had previously reported that 3 Malaysian banks were named as among the chief unsecured creditors of Genting Hong Kong, with a combined exposure of $600 million or 2.5 billion ringgit. And according to Dato Sri Azmin, Maybank had issued a statement saying it would not affect the bank's financial strength, and the MOF will monitor the situation closely to ensure that the liquidity in the country remains strong. The Communications and Multimedia Ministry, KKMM, will be stepping up engagement sessions with creative industry players in an effort to understand and assist them in various related matters. Its Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said apart from that, creative industry players could also come forward to express any ideas or problems faced, as they were also part of Keluarga Malaysia.
Dan industri ini dinamik, masalah itu ada berbagai-bagai. Ada setengah tu boleh kata bantuan dia rujuk pada soal kebajikan. Setengah tu boleh kata bantuan dia rujuk kepada kerja-kerja yang mereka nak buat dan sebagainya. Dan saya cuba memperbanyakkan engagement dengan industri players ini untuk memahami, dan mereka juga boleh tampil ke hadapan. Saya juga melantik mereka-mereka daripada industri menduduki dalam board, dalam ahli lembaga pengarah dan sebagainya. Saya harap semua orang akan membantu memainkan peranan.
The minister was met after attending the Sembang Santai #Keluarga Malaysia at Melaka program in Masjid Tanah. Earlier at the program, Tan Sri Anwar said the contribution of the creative industry to the gross domestic product or GDP was still low, as it only contributed about 5 to 6% a year, and he wanted this to be enhanced through the country's digitalization transformation. Well, the Welfare Department, JKM, will carry out another round of studies on the effectiveness of the cashless monthly assistance for JKM Pay for recipients. And Women, Family and Community Development Minister Dato Sri Rina Muhammad Harun said this was to allow room for improvements to JKM Pay while ensuring its efficiency.
Pertamanya, bila kita mengadakan sebagai contoh, kita mengadakan di Perlis atau di Kedah, it will definitely cannot be terus saja dilaksanakan begitu. Kita ada perbincangan dengan kerajaan negeri, kita ada perbincangan dengan pemegang-pemegang taruh. Ya, jadi yang ini adalah kita juga telah bawa kepada majlis OKU kita. Jadi yang ini juga merupakan, saya katakan tadi, daripada projek rintis, dan kita ada kajian-kajian yang dibuat. Dan sekarang ni setahun, dan kita akan engage lebih ramai lagi ya, sebelum kita perluaskan ke seluruh negara.
Well, under the JKM Pay initiative, recipients would still receive cash aid based on their schemes, but it was split into 50% cash and 50% cashless payments. JKM Pay was introduced for recipients to better manage and control their spending instead of being used for unnecessary items such as cigarettes or alcohol. Several OKU groups had called on the ministry to review the implementation of JKM Pay, which they deemed to be non-beneficial to them. Well, the Kelantan government has identified 200 locations in the state that still do not have internet access. And Menteri Besar Dato Ahmad Yaakob said at the moment, the state government was working to improve internet access in all the locations through cooperation between Kelantan Gate and Binanet. Well, met after officiating the Rural Satellite Internet Service, also known as PESAT, initiative at Jeram Mengaji in Pasir Putih, Dato Ahmad said telecommunication transmitters would be installed in 50 schools under the supervision of Yayasan Islam Kelantan. And on the cost of using the internet, well, he said it would be determined by the service provider. He added that focus would also be given to improving internet access in 18 Orang Asli villages in the state with the support of the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission. Coming up, wanted Abu Sayyaf bomb maker confirmed still alive. Well, traffic in the nation's highways, expressways and trunk roads are smooth, albeit slow-moving. Now, this was especially so on several routes heading out of Kuala Lumpur as the federal capital empties ahead of the Chinese New Year on Tuesday. Well, traffic along the East Coast Expressway or LPT highways is reportedly smooth in both directions, with slow traffic from kilometre 4.2 to kilometre 32.9 heading towards the Genting Sepah Tunnel in the east as of noon today. It was made to understand that the slow-moving traffic was due to an increase in the number of vehicles on the highway. And according to Ane Berhad Operations and Maintenance Head Ainul Hasri Shah Abu Hassan, around 70,000 vehicles were recorded leaving Kuala Lumpur at the Gombak Toll Plaza early today. Well, over at the North-South Expressway, motorists are facing crawling traffic from Slim River heading towards Sungai as of 12:09 p.m. today. While another slow-moving traffic along the expressway is between Bidor to the Tapa RNR stretches up to kilometer 9.3 after Tapa heading towards Gua Tempurung side stop. In Pulau Pinang, traffic movement were also reportedly smooth heading into and out of the island as of 6 p.m. today, and traffic flow at the Juru Toll Plaza southbound is well under control, although the traffic was slow moving on the opposite direction due to the increased number of vehicles. The Plus Malaysia Berhad Chairman Dato' Muhammad Nasir Abdul Latif recently said that the number of vehicles on Plus highways is expected to increase to 1.6 million daily during Chinese New Year celebrations. Abu Sayyaf sub-leader and bomb maker Mudzrimar alias Mundi Sawadja, a suspect wanted by the Sabah Eastern Zone Security Commando ESCOM and reportedly shot dead last May in the Philippines, has been confirmed to be still alive. ESCOM Commander DCP Hamza Ahmad said this was confirmed through the sharing of information by the Philippine Security Forces involving the Joint Task Force Sulu and Western Mindanao Command. Well, in a statement today, Hamza said Mudzrimar, or also known as Mundi Sawadja, has been confirmed to be still alive following a series of clashes and encounters between the Philippine Security Forces and the suspect since July 2021. Hamza said after that, Mudzrimar, who was removed from the list of individuals wanted by ESCOM last year, was now listed again following a kidnapping case for ransom in the Sabah S zone. Mudzrimar is also a nephew of Abu Sayyaf senior leader Hatib Hajan Sawadjan. Besides having the expertise in making bombs, he also involved in planning the bombings in a number of incidents in Holo, the Philippines, in 2020. Well, there are 2.599 million registered voters who are eligible to vote in the Johor state election to be held soon. Well, 2.576 million of them are ordinary voters. Now, based on statistics released by the Election Commission, or EC, the registered voters also comprise 22,536 early voters, who include 10,958 members of the armed forces and spouses, and 11,578 police personnel and their spouses. Well, according to the data gazetted by the EC last 17th January, the number of absentee voter is 376. Voters can check their details via the Electoral Roll Portal or MySPR's SEMAC application and the EC hotline. Now, the EC is expected to announce the date of the Johor state election after holding a special meeting this 9th February. Well, former Bernama chairman Tan Sri Abdul Rahman Sulaiman passed away due to a heart attack at the hospital Chancellor Tuanku Mukhriz in Cheras today. His daughter, Diana Sula Mazra, said the 10th Bernama chairman breathed his last at about 4 p.m. at the age of 75. Allahyarham Tan Sri Abdul Rahman is survived by his wife Puan Sri Mazna Adam and 3 children. And born in Parit Bunta, Perak, Allahyarham Tan Sri Abdul Rahman started his career as a journalist at RTM in 1966 before joining Bernama as a senior journalist in 1971. Between 1971 and 1995, he had served as the Johor Bureau Chief, correspondent for Thailand and Indochina, Chief Sub-Editor, Chief News Editor, Executive Editor of the General News Service, and Editor-in-Chief for Bernama. Allahyarham Tan Sri Abdul Rahman opted for early retirement to contest in the 9th general election in April 1995 as Barisan Nasional candidate for the Parit Bunta parliamentary constituency and won the seat. He was appointed as the 10th chairman of Bernama from 1st February 2010 until 31st January 2014 before being reappointed to the post until 31st January 2016. May his soul rest in peace. UK preparing new Russia sanctions law. That and more coming up in our foreign segment. Well, it's time for sports. And Sabah FC head coach Dato' Ong Kim Swee has reminded his players not to be too pressured over the results of their pre-season friendly matches and the expectations of fans, but instead focus on continuing to improve their game. Well, Dato' Kim Swee said he understood the fans' hopes for Sabah FC to achieve victory in every match, but currently the coaching team was identifying the weaknesses and strengths of each player to prepare the club to face their Super League campaign in the Malaysian League this season. And according to him, Sabah FC's 1-0 defeat to Premier League team Kuching City FC in their pre-season friendly match at the Likas Stadium last night should not be used as an excuse to put pressure on the players, but instead be a lesson towards improving the squad's performance. Sabah FC's first friendly match on 16 January saw the team draw 1-1 with M3 League team Kinabalu Jaguar FC at the Likas Stadium. Meanwhile, Dato' Kim Swee said the presence of 3 Sabah FC import players scheduled to arrive next week would see changes to the game strategy he was planning for the team. And for this season, Sabah FC have retained 2 import players, namely defender Park Tae-soo from South Korea and winger Sadil Ramdhani from Indonesia. And the team will be further boosted with the arrival of their 3 other imported players. Well, efforts to ensure a never-ending supply of talented footballers in the country has been welcomed by parents, as can be seen in the participation of 5,000 young players in the Super Rimau League, which began on 15 January. Well, Housing and Local Government Minister Dato' Sri Rizal American said the league launched on 30th March last year, when he was the Youth and Sports Minister, had attracted 300 teams. Well, in a post on his official Facebook page today, he said this showed the success of the Youth and Sports Ministry, now under the leadership of Dato' Sri Ahmad Faisal Azumu through the National Sports Institute, in continuing to empower the talent identification program in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. He also commended the Football Association of Malaysia, or FAM, and joint sponsors for their efforts, which has made it possible for a more comprehensive football talent identification initiative to be carried out. Well, earlier today, Dato' Sri Rizal American, FAM President Dato' Hamidin Muhammad Amin, and FAM Technical Director Scott O'Donnell visited the Panasonic Stadium in Shah Alam to watch one of the Super Rimau League matches. Well, 34 new COVID-19 infections were detected among Olympics-related personnel. The Beijing 2022 Winter Games Organizing Committee said today, with Poland's short track medal hopeful Natalia Malezwiecka among them. And of those, 13 were athletes or team officials who tested positive after arriving at the airport yesterday. Now, of the total infections, 23 were among new airport arrivals, while 11 were people already in the closed-loop bubble that separates events personnel from the public in an effort to curb the spread of infections. Now, the Polish Olympic Committee said Malezwiecka is already the 8th Polish athlete to have tested positive, and she has gone into isolation, joining already infected fellow speed skaters Natalia Szczesłonka, Magdalena Zizon, and Marikania in isolation. Australia also announced a positive COVID-19 test on Sunday among its team members, but did not provide details of whether it was an athlete or coaching staff. Now, Beijing Games organizers have warned of more cases in coming days as Beijing enforces stringent measures restricting movement and contact of any Games participant with the local population. In tennis, top seeds Barbora Krejcikova and Katarina Siniakova won their 4th Grand Slam today, sweeping to the Australian Open women's doubles title against Kazakhstan's Ana Danilina and Brazilian Beatriz Haddad-Maia. Now, the Sheikh pair battled from a set down to, and Wolves winger Adama Traore expressed his joy as he landed in Barcelona for his 2nd spell with his boyhood club. Now, the 26-year-old will remain with the La Liga Giants for the rest of the season, and there is an option to make his move to the new camp permanent. The loan seized Traore, who had also been linked with a move to Tottenham, returned to Barca after the Spain international came through the youth setup at Barcelona.
I'm so happy to come back here. I think it's been a long time and I didn't be here, you know, so for me it's a special moment because it's been many years I've been playing here. I grew up here in this town, I grew up here with my family, I grew up here with my friends, and I'm very happy, you know, it's a special moment. And after I would like to give back that happiness in the pitch, and that's all.
Traore joined the club when he was 8 and made his first team debut 9 years later before moving to the Premier League, where he has represented Aston Villa, Middlesbrough and Wolves. Traore's existing contract at Wolves runs until the summer of 2023. Well, that concludes this evening's News at 10. In our top story, discussion on Malaysia-Thailand VTL ongoing. Well, join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Amin Carlos, and do stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.